It's a really good scaling pick, and it's them adapting to the patch as well. Ashe did get AD growth buffed on this patch, has been fairly absent from the meta, but then just kind of almost seeming forcing Seos onto the Karma here, not wanting to play a melee into that double range lane and get pushed in the entire time. I'm a little bit scared of the Seraphine if you know how to pilot it for Frosty.
It's such a powerful team fight battery with all of the healing, all of the shielding that you get from it.
Yeah, B-Boy also pulling out this Sivir. He's got a good record on it overall, seeing if he can make some big things happen in this game. And to talk more about that, Kangas is standing by with Coach Revan.
Thank you very much. I have Coach Revan here as we're watching already almost a first blood come in here.
Mid jungle and AD are really new. Top's their biggest veteran. Support is kind of, I think he's on year 2 or 3. But they had their, like a roster change in between split 2 and 3, and then they still somehow made it to cross-conference finals. So really big ups to them, honestly.
And the one thing I do want to mention about the 2v2 that we saw in mid, Contract's the only one of those 4 that still has, top side Fudge in some danger. FNB needs a little more damage, but just can't get that last auto attack that would have procced the Hyper there for the first blood.
These guys are just trading so aggressive.
Teos, the minions are still on him too.
He's got 40 health. He's running pretty low there. The heal is mandatory to keep him alive. Contracts wanted to try to flash for the wall slam there on Frosty. Not quite enough distance to make it work, so.
Because FNB still has top lane priority, so that wave has to be answered by Fudge. So Fudge isn't here now. That was a necessary flash because during that numbers disadvantage and Ashe Arrow hitting,
Nice potential play here from Palafox. He gets the shuffle on Kaze, but not enough damage to follow it up and really threaten anything lethal. Shopify Rebellion still trying to jockey for position over these grubs as Doom and FNB have to evacuate the area. Contract still on the approach here, but it's already 2 grubs for Red Canids, so Shopify Rebellion are only going to get a consolation grub. The Yorick is the counter pick, so I can at least give the cope take of, yeah, it was a counter pick, that's why it went so bad. This time around, FNB first pick on the Gnar as Palafox gets caught out by Kaze. Nice use of the seismic shove there, forcing out the flash from the Shopify mid laner.
And look for some scaling options for themselves, but they call off their dragon play, and Palafox gets...
Oh, Palafox with the lazy recall, and Kaze is ready to show him that sloth is a deadly sin. Palafox wants to get away from it, but Kaze picks up an easy first blood.
They can fish. They can kind of afford to fish around at objectives. Here we go, bottom side.
Yeah, Fudge going in for the World Ender here after Kaze, who just immediately uses Weaver's Wall to create enough distance to get away from the attempt from the Shopify top laner. Fudge is still looking for a little bit more. Not going to land the Infernal Chains. Wants to flash for the Q2, but he misses the sweet spot. Won't matter. Q3 gets it done with Contract swooping in to help. Shopify Rebellion are on the board. Closer than that because you don't have the Sivir ulti available any longer either because of the trade. 2v2 in mid lane, using that as one of the resources. FNB jumping back as Palafox surges towards him. Yeah, this should be very easy for him to do. Got the 2 grubs already to guarantee the extra true damage over time. Now FNB going to get shuffled back. Contracts, Palafox, and Seos trying to make the play, but it's a Mega Gnar. They just don't have anywhere near enough damage to complete this kill.
Yeah, that threat, though, gets a whole Sivir ultimate out of them for free.
And now the arrow collides, but it's on to Seos. There's no way to spell shield that one. Nice pick coming out from Red Canids. Rebello locks it in with the aim.
The double Freljord engage, even though you spell shield the Sejuani ult. Ashe one does hit. Contracts, ooh, dangerous on the outside.
Yep, but at least this will buy Shopify's top laner time to take the tier 1 turret in the bottom lane. Fudge getting down, but as Palafox shuffles Doom back away, here comes the Weaver's Wall. Palafox makes his way to the other side of it, and B-Boy has to flash to do the same. Herald summoned up, but not getting a ton of value here in this tier 1, as that one will get shot down. And Red Canids now looking at the enemy jungle.
The whole year, they have started splits so bad and then clutched up at the end. But if I look, there's a fight, we're out of time.
Yeah, we might not have time. I'm sorry. There was not enough timer on the cope as Palafox flashes away from the Glacial Prison. Nice seismic shove there onto Contracts. Going to take a chunk of his HP, but again, Red Canids nowhere close to a lethal situation. And we got some big second items coming online. Steric's Gauge just completed for FNB as Palafox is going to get caught out, but a nice defensive shuffle keeps him alive a little bit longer. Frosty needs some more damage, but the Encore will not lock Palafox up. Doom and everybody else turning their eyes onto Contracts now as Palafox is somehow still alive. alive, but the Red Cannons are dogpiling into the jungle. Fudge finally makes his way in with a World Ender as B-Boy needs the auto attacks. Fudge is locked up, but he can't drain tank, and a double kill for the Talia. Kaze again with the performances here. Red Cannons, they get a 3-for-1.
Kaze is so good. The flash over the wall. He avoids the Aatrox.
And this is the strength that we were talking about earlier for this long-range composition. If Red can get to the objectives first, they can make Shopify face check them. Contracts getting caught out, dies before the fight can even go anywhere. The Keeper's verdict will not save him in time. And with the enemy jungler down, that dragon is free.
Prior to this game that I had seen, and they're doing great.
Uh-oh, Palafox, nice timing there on the Emperor's Divide to knock FNB backwards as he tried to hop forward. But Palafox is not out of the woods just yet. Kaze coming around through the jungle here with the Weaver's Wall. Cuts off the escape route for the Shopify mid laner. He doesn't even need setup. That seismic shove finds the mark, and Kaze brings the cannons up to a 4,000 gold.
To be watching right now with Revolta reacting to that one. And they're just going to keep. Ooh. There's no McHale's.
It's another beautiful catch coming out from Red Cannons. The Glacial Prison finding the target on Deseos. He had the McHale's to save himself with last time, but that cooldown's pretty long. And as long as that thing's not available, it is so easy for Sejuani to lock up those targets. And now with the enemy support down, Red Cannons will start up the Baron. They still have the Ash Arrow. They still have the Encore. They still have Kaze ready and waiting. They continue pushing forward. The arrow doesn't find a target, but it doesn't even need to. Now with the enemy jungler killed, Red Cannons know it's Baron o'clock.
It's just the Ashe, Seraphine, Sejuani mob just running around, killing whoever they want, taking the momentum through. The predictions from the Brazilian casters, some of them saying 3-0 for Red. Not too shocking unless, nice pick there by Contracts.
Because you've got a 1,000 gold lead in the jungle, a 1,000 gold lead at support, 3,000 gold in mid lane, and it's about to be even more. Palafox nearly getting caught out here. Flash out from him to avoid the follow-up flash at gauge potential from Doom there with the Glacial Prison. So Palafox stays alive, but again, they force the enemy mid back. They're putting the pressure onto the Drake.
Yeah, I think you should just make this call. Yeah, definitely correct for Shopify. They just go for...
Ooh, that's a long-range stun onto Fudge, followed up by Kaze. There with a seismic shoved into the unraveled earth. Fudge wants to try to turn it around, but the problem is, here's FNB, and Fudge isn't going to survive that one. It's the Drake over to Red Cannons. It's an extra kill over to Red Cannons.
And since Red was able to win both solo lanes, they've just very cleanly played out the rest of this game so far.
B-Boy now the target, tries to get away from it, but Red Cannons are going full send. Kaze slammed back into the wall, though. This might be an overextension. He stays alive for a second longer, but he is shut down by Fudge. Shopify get a big kill on the enemy mid laner. Seos is very low. Palafox at half HP, so there's nothing more they can take.
The scramble in the fight there is good for Shopify. Kaze down, and he flashed. Is there a wraparound? Contracts?
Yeah, Contracts wants the Hex flash over the wall. He arrives, but there's nothing for him to find. Instead, the firepower from Red Cannons. Contracts makes a fatal error, and Doom is happy to show him just that.
As long as we're talking about it, like, what is the dream fight? Because it's probably some type of Azir shuffle into something insane.
Well, it's not this.
Start.
Contracts face check at the brush, nearly killed immediately, and Rebello takes him out with a focus fire. Palafox killed again with a nice seismic shove. Seos, he'll fall too. It's 4 dead on Shopify Rebellion. Only Fudge still alive, and Red Cannons are marching down the mid lane.
I'll tell you what the dream fight for Red is. It's when they face check you and you chase them down. 4 kills for Red and probably the whole base.
This looks like the end of the game. Fudge would have to pull off a miracle in a 1v5 as an Aatrox against a full health enemy team. The mid lane inhibitor drops. There's still more than 20 seconds left on everybody on Shopify Rebellion. The Ash Arrow hits, add insult to injury as Red Cannons show Shopify what some team fighting, what some picks look like. 16-4 in game 3. Red Cannons go on to match point.
And if we're talking about a team that plays better when they have confidence, they're going to be full of it after the last 2 games, Flowers.